You don't have to look the part to lead the room. And I am proof of that. Hello, everybody. My name is Ivy Ladone. Welcome to Reclaiming Your Space, a podcast where we talk about real life identity shifts, self acceptance, and showing up boldly even when you don't feel like you look the part. I'm Ivy Ladone, a professional dancer turned master group fitness instructor, turned into dance director of a program for a high school. And today, in today's episode, we will be talking about evolving and shifting. So, from evolving into shifting, how to reclaim your identity over and over and over again. Today, I want to talk more about identity shifts in your life versus evolving. Although there is evolution as you shift into a new identity, let's say, although it holds a different weight for me personally, and I want to get into that. So grab your popcorn, grab your tea, grab your coffee, put this on as you drive or as you're folding clothes, whatever you got to do. Let's get cozy and let's get started. So, like I said, today I want to talk about identity shifts versus like constant evolution, letting go of rigid labels because in this era that we're in with spirituality in the new age, which yeah, I do love, not gonna lie, there's this big push for evolving, rising higher, going higher consciousness, growing, right, expanding. What has worked for me, and please take what resonates and leave the rest, but what has worked for me has been the perspective of identity shifting. So it's not to say that I am constantly expanding and growing and I'm looking for higher knowledge all the time and I'm looking to always be better and I'm looking to always be stronger, and not necessarily. There are different seasons in life for me. And again, I speak for myself. Please take this with a grain of salt and lead with what resonates for you. But I've learned that for me, encompassing the concept of identity shifting versus evolving has just helped me. How, right? How does that work? Well, the identity for me, the identity shifting, it feels more like energetically like a pull in versus like a pushing. Evolving sometimes can feel like pushing for me. It can be like we have to expand or we have to be better, or we have to grow more, we have to make more money, we have to be more active, we have to be healthier, we have, right? All of these like we have to do. And the identity shift is almost like, actually, this is where I am right now. What do I need to pull in this now moment? What is being required of me in this now moment? And this is how it looked like for me. In 2020, with this pandemic that we all experienced, we all had different experiences, but a lot of us had the time to introspect and to go inward and to like, you know, stop what the autopilot was on. And in that moment, I wish that I would have asked myself the same question that I'm asking myself now. What do I need right now in this moment to thrive, to be complacent, to be happy, to be content, to be satisfied, to be fulfilled, right? And what I needed in 2020 was to have an identity shift. I needed to accept that the times were different. I needed to slow down. I needed to pivot. I needed to introspect. I needed to heal. I needed to let go of titles and certain goals that I had, right? But in the name of evolving, I just kept treading. I kept and kept evolving. I kept pushing. I kept going forward. And I do think that that did some hindrance to me, emotionally speaking, mentally speaking, physically speaking. So imagine if that had an effect on me in that way, what else did it have an effect on me, right? My relationships, intimate ones and platonic ones, family, friends, work. I mean, it bled into a lot of things. So again, take what resonates, leave the rest. But for me, it was more like I wasn't thinking that way back then. I'm thinking of that way. I'm thinking this way now. But in 2020, I wish that I would have asked myself, like, what do I need right now? You know, versus like, we just got to keep going. This is a great opportunity to do more. Like, let's go. While everyone is, it's like, chill. Take a deep breath. There are seasons in our reality for weather. There are seasons as a human being on this planet. Hello? Your childhood years, your teenage years, your young adult years, your full adult years, your later adult years, your mature senior years. There's seasons. And even within those seasons are seasons. You know what I mean? So if we can just be present and say, like, what do I need right now in this now moment versus whatever the standard is to keep evolving from where I'm at, like, that doesn't always work. Not in my opinion. So, a couple of talking points I want to bring up, okay? I definitely defined the difference of between evolving and identity shifting, right? But I want to talk a little bit about how that feels as a dancer and moving into a group fitness instructor and then moving into back as a leader and coach, directing a program and such. So, okay, so dancer. So when I was a dancer, right, how did the identity shifting, how was that? And again, this is not a concept that I had in mind back then. This is new to me. I'm doing this in 2025 right now. So for anybody watching beyond 2025, I love you. So cool. Thank you so much for supporting this because my intention with this series is to reach the world and for those who are needing community and support in this fashion. So, as a dancer, the identity shift then was like very much a student, right? It was to learn, it was to absorb it all that I was learning. It was to put into practice, right? As a performer, it was a little rigid because it was structured, right? It was within a container, I would say, of like energy, of like information, right? This is where I lived, right here. Boom. It was rigid in that sense, but it was also creative. So it was like a creative box. It was artistic. That was the identity. As I moved from dancer to fitness instructor, you better believe that was an identity shift. In no way did I think that was an evolution. I'm not going to lie here. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that, like, oh, my plan was to be a dancer and then from dancer to be a fitness instructor. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. So, what did that do to me? It caused a little internal turmoil and conflict. And so there was, without even being conscious, there was an identity shift. It was more of an acceptance. And I think that's also a key point to mention versus evolving and identity shifts is the acceptance. Evolving is like, I just got to push. Identity shifting is like, I accept where I'm at right now and I'm going to pull in what's best for my now moment. And I kind of did that. I kind of did that without even realizing that that was the concept that I was working with. Why? I was in New York, not in my hometown, Miami. I wasn't dancing like I used to, and I wasn't a student anymore. I was teaching dance at that point at studios, mega studios, so many studios, choreographing, doing this and that, technical, like competitive dancing, teaching competitive dance, choreographies for schools, all of that stuff. And when I moved into the fitness realm, it was like, well, you're here now. Dance is not going to get you very far, and the knowledge of it can, be performative and people will like that and maybe that'll set you apart physically speaking, energetically speaking, maybe from other instructors, but like it's not really about dance now. It's about you leading others in a fitness experience that includes dance. Hello. So the shift there was, I'm a teacher, right? What do I need to pull in? Acceptance of where I'm at. I'm a teacher, I'm an instructor now, I'm in fitness. I'm not a student anymore, I'm a teacher. Oh, okay. Well, this remains kind of rigid. Okay, because there's a certain container here where there's a formula. This is how this works. This is how I have to do things. The body, the anatomy, the form, the sets, right? Certifications, all of that stuff had its place. But the creativity, the artistry, not as much, to be honest. Thankfully, I was at a boutique fitness studio, shout out 305 Fitness, that is very colorful. Loved it. But even then, it was fitness. So I wasn't like choreographing every week. I wasn't, or every day. I wasn't selecting different music. Sure, it was creative because there was DJs involved, but I wasn't the DJ like I was as a dancer, right? Creating my own music, et cetera, et cetera. No. So there was a shift there, and it was an acceptance of like, okay, now I'm in a lead role. Now I'm focusing more on fitness. So then I'm going to start to apply that on my own as well, in my own body, in my own life. Okay, interesting. And then as I moved from instructor of the health and fitness and wellness industry, which still, this is also part of me, now moving into a lead director role. of a dance program. I take all that I've learned as a professional dancer and as a master group fitness instructor now back into a dance program for students. The shift here is like, this is where I'm at. I'm not letting go of all that I've learned. And in fact, I feel so equipped right now. So the shift here is accepting. The shift here is grounding my energy and creating almost like a platform and a foundation for those who I'm going to be teaching, not just through dance, but also through fitness and wellness. And the energy here feels really expansive. It feels also artistic. There's some freedom here, and it doesn't feel as rigid as before. Still some rigidness in the sense that there's a container because it's a school system, there's a curriculum, but even within that curriculum, the container has gotten bigger. And it just feels different for me. Again, take what resonates, leave the rest. But moving forward, the importance of honoring each version without shame. That is so important. That is so important. Like, let's talk about this for a second. Please take a look at your life really quickly. Just like give it a little skim. Give it a little skim from like your childhood to where you are right now, and think about the different versions that you've been. And if you're like, no, I'm pretty much the same person. No, you're not. No, you're not. Like that you have similar interests, or that, you have the same likes that you had as your childhood, or like you still like that same, restaurant, and you still would like watching that show, or you still want to dress in this way, or like, sure, but that doesn't mean that you're still your 8-year-old self only. No. Like there's different parts of you, different seasons of your life that have marinated you, that have helped you become who you are, right? So there's no shame in that. It's almost like you were all of that, and here's where you are now. So being thankful for those moments, because it brought you to where you are right now, to who you are right now, right? The art of becoming, not just being, but you are constantly in a state of becoming, as you are shifting in your identity. So I put here, I just want to read my notes to you, but your life is yours, so special. And what a shame to wait till a crisis to have that perspective. Think of your child self. Oh my God, I didn't even realize I said that. Think of your child self. What do they need, want, and deserve in each version of yourself? Okay, lastly, how you learned to update your internal narrative instead of staying stuck in old definitions. So, how did I do this inner work, right? Instead of just staying stuck in this identity of like, I don't want to let go. I don't want to let go of like my job. I don't want to let go of this title. I don't want to let go of my reputation. I don't want to let go of like my schedule. I don't want to let go of like my routines. I don't want to let go, right? How did I change my narrative from within? Well, for me, I'll be honest, life keeps going. Everyone's life is very different. It feels different. It looks different. For me, my life just, I realize that like here on this planet, we have time. Time doesn't stop for anybody, it just keeps going. So the more that I experienced that in a physical way where people were presenting me opportunities, I could literally do or not do, accept or not accept. And there did come a time where I was like, it was merely a do or forever regret. Like I either do, I accept where I'm at, I embrace this moment, this identity, or I just forever stay stuck. No, I don't want that. So even if I went kicking and screaming, I would still step forward. I would still do the thing, because it's not fair to me to stay stuck and not see what potential I'm made of. Now, my friend, I want to leave you with 4 tips before you head out, okay? Tip number 1, you are allowed to shift who you are, and daily if needed, okay? You are allowed to shift who you are, and daily if needed. Tip number 2, ask yourself, who am I being loyal to? My truth or an outdated image version of myself? I'll let you sit with that one. Tip number 3, write new labels for yourself. Own them and speak them. Okay. We say labels because it would help identify the actions, the behavior, the feelings of this new identity. Okay. Tip number 4, shifting identity is power in motion, not inconsistency. It's power when you get to decide that you have the pen and you get to write out exactly where you are, what you want, when and how. And that is what I have for you today, my friends. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed these kinds of videos, I ask that you please consider giving this a like because it tells me that you do, and I will definitely make more like this. In fact, I do want to help you out. So this is a community that I'm building. I want to help those specifically who are looking to get out of their own way, or actually maybe not get out of their own way, but accept where they are at. How can I help you? Please let me know in the comments below. If you're not subscribed to this channel, then what are you doing? Because all we do is talk about this stuff. And if you'd like to hear more, then be a part of the family. Okay? Until next time, you guys, stay strong, stay in love, stay fierce.